Here are some nice incoherent words for early in the morning. As you know, yesterday I discovered the egg, and that egg is the Betzah, which is a whole Talmudic tractate. And Betzah has the gematria of 107. Bet Yud Zadik Hey. That's 107 plus 4 letters, that's 111, and that's the Aleph, which I think is everything. And one of the big deals about Betzah is that it's muksa. That means set aside on Yom Tov, and that's what the whole tractate, the first part of the tractate of Betzah is about. If an egg is laid on Yom Tov, can you eat it? And that has a gematria of 241. Amar. But with 5 letters, it's 246, and that's the angel Gabriel. But these things mean nothing, you see, until you associate it into the body and to the tree of life. And remember, Gabriel to me is, Gabriel to everybody in Judaism is the left hand. It's Gevurah. And this, to me, because my body is, and I'm a tennis player, and my whole principle is to be bimanual. Bimanual is the development of man, not just to be one-handed, but to be bimanual, kind of ambidextrous, which would include 2 hands. So for me, it's not only Avraham with Gabriel, but it's Yitzhak, Avraham with Mikael, but it's Yitzhak with Gabriel. And these 2 hands go together. And when these 2 hands go together, a 3rd hand appears, you see? And the whole idea of Gabriel and Mikael, remember, is that I put the 2 together and I get 246 for Gabriel and 101 for Mikael. That's 347. Plus there are 11 letters. You see, Mikael, there's 6 letters for Gabriel, 5 letters for Mikael, so that's 347 plus 11 letters, that's 358, and that's Nahash. And for me, that's the Nahash around the egg. Mikael and Gabriel together are the Nahash around the Betzah, which is the Aleph. So the Aleph there with the Nahash, you see, swarming around it. And what is this Aleph? This Aleph to me is the center of the body, it's the Ein Sof. And there's a very big beauty here because the whole thing is Yesod, you see. Because the body pivots on Yesod. When I'm sitting down here, the hips and the groin, they're sitting on the... And when you move, you're moving from Yesod. And I was doing some exercises this morning, seeing how I move. That egg in there and how it moves. And so I want to turn you on to things called the Feldenkrais method, the Feldenkrais technique of movement. And it's not surprising that he was an Israeli Jew, Feldenkrais, that discovered this, and about the potentialities of the body. And, Talmudic things are so intellectual, but they're not really brought down into the physical body. They're brought down into the behaviors of body, but not into the essence of the body itself, in my opinion. And so as you do these things, you see, you'll be more like the tree, the eights, which is found in muksa, in the letters reversed. Anyway, the whole idea for me, and I've brought this down before, is yesod, which is 80, which is pay. But if you then express yesod in full, it comes out to be 586. And 586 comes out to be that magic number of shofar and Yerushalayim, and yesod fully spelt out. But now, sometimes in gematria, you add the root to its full expression. So I have yesod, which is 80, and then its full expression is 586. So its total full expression is 80 plus 586, and that's 666. 666. Did you ever hear that number before? They call it in Christianity the number of the beast. See? And that's yesod. And so, is it good or bad? Yesod in Zeir Anpin is the sixth Sephirot, and so that's 666 in the three worlds, in the three lower physical worlds of Osea, Yetzirah, and Beriah. And that's yesod. And that's 666. And 6 is that number of sex, is brought down by Sigmund Freud. And so these are things, but the whole idea of this is to get yourself in full body participation. You see. And that there's a mind, but don't be too over intellectualized with that mind. Bring into the body, and you'll see an amazing change in difference. See? And when you walk from that, what I call the egg point, the betzah now, which is the aleph point for me, it always was, and it comes out to be aleph at 111. And of course there's a parallel between 111 and 666. Because it's an expression of the number in three different worlds. So any of those numbers, like 333, which is half of 666. And the full expression of anything is a whole and a half. So 666 plus 333 is 999. And that just happens to be the full gematria of El Shaddai. And El Shaddai is the name that comes from Yesod. So this is all it in the body. And so I'm moving, because you have to move from there, from there, and then to the other parts. See? And when you get that, then you're the center of the world, the markaz. See? And how I'm starting to feel about my own placement here in New York City. I've said this before, but this is how I'm waking up. This is my soul root for today. Each day I receive a different soul root. I am in the center of the world. I am in this betzah, in this markaz. I am the Nazir in the center of the world. Put here for a specific purpose. What that purpose is, it's been very difficult to find, because I went to normative schools, learning history of the French Revolution, learning to eat milk, sugar, you know? Learning to eat 3 meals a day. When I eat and then go to sleep, things that are cuckoo. Cuckoo. This is how I wake up. I wake up and this is what I receive. Some of it's from before. You see? Because when you wake up with a different soul, but that's not like yes, you're a different person, but it's a culmination in a certain sense of other parts of your souls. There's many parts of the souls. You don't wake up with different parts of every soul, or maybe you do. But for me, everything is related to the right and left hands. And until that left hand is manifested in society, we're dealing with half a deck. You're playing piano one-handed. You're playing drums one-handed. You're boxing one-handed. You're fighting one-handed. And then you wonder why you feel incomplete or not fully developed or disappointed in life. So when you're able to do and use your total body, or if you danced, see, one hand, one foot, run with 1 foot. You run with 2 feet as if you have 1 foot. And that's the difference between the body, the lower half of the body and the top. There's more consciousness in the fingers and in the toes and the normal deal. And so, as Heidegger always says, man is the animal with hands. And so you've only developed half. So you can do everything bimanually. Don't criticize yourself.